Today I'm going to prepare two things, two beautiful things.
Yeah.
I'm first in the spirit of Tisha B'Av, and because we can't eat meat for the 9 days coming, including today, except on Shabbat, I am going to show you how to make Moroccan fish balls.
Love it.
Fish is super important in Moroccan household. We put a very big emphasis at the beginning of our Shabbat meal, and if we don't serve fish, my husband and kids, they're just not happy. The other thing we're going to be making today is rhubarb and berry crumble.
Oh, that's so
I had a lot of requests for it. It's one of my favorite summer dessert. It's beautiful, and I'm going to show you how to serve it in a fancy way for your guest or your family, because right now our family is our guest. So we're going to be doing that.
Be our guest, be your guest. Forget about all the rest.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it's happening. I'm not going to get so very excited.
So I want to talk to you guys
Bruno, that's so funny.
a little bit about Moroccan fish and why it's so important for us. So I wrote a little something to inspire myself, and I'm going to present it to you before we start. So in Morocco, in years ago, in the late 1490, when Jews left Spain, they chose several countries to immigrate, and one of them was Morocco. So dates back from 2,500 years ago when we Moroccans immigrated and lived in Morocco. In 1948, there was about 250,000 Jews. And today, between the bigger cities of Casablanca, Marrakech, Rabat, and Salé, we have about 2,000 Jews left.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we dispersed to France, Israel, Canada, around the globe, in the States, and we keep our recipes close to us. We try to pass them down to other generations, our kids especially, that are not born in Morocco, but that have a very big influence because on a weekly or daily basis, they eat our food. When we celebrate weddings or bar mitzvahs or simchas, we infuse it with our Moroccan traditions and culture, so it's very important in our house. Now, it's magical when you go to Morocco and you walk through the shouks and you see all the spices and fresh fish and herbs and vegetables. It's just like going through the market in Israel. Morocco has as much culture, very similar in terms of the way that it's displayed, the mountains of spices, the herbs and the things hanging, and all the beautiful stuff. The tradition in serving fish as a first course in a Moroccan household dates back from the Talmud, and there's a story that says that Yosef was very poor, and he insisted, though, even not having much money, he insisted every week to be able to insist on making sure that he honors Shabbat and that he serves and gets for his family all of the things that was needed to make sure to have a beautiful table and a beautiful meal in honor of Shabbat. Now, in his town, there was a very rich man, and he wasn't really very generous, and it didn't really give a lot of money, even to poor people. And he was so afraid to lose his fortune that he sold everything and bought a very big diamond that he kept. Now, one day, he put the stone in his hat, and there was a wind, and the hat blew, and the diamond fell, and it went in the mouth of a fish. Well, just before Shabbat, Yosef was scrambling to try to get enough money to buy fish because that was really very important. And he went to the fish market, and there was only one fish left. And he purchased that fish in honor of Shabbat because that was one of his main goals each week, to honor Shabbat. And he went home, and when they opened the fish, there was that very big diamond in it. The Talmud states that he merited this great wealth because of the fact that he honored Shabbat every week. And that's what we try to do in all of our homes. Now, also, the Hebrew word for fish is dag. And the numeric value of dag is 7. And Shabbat falls on the 7th day. We absolutely need to eat fish on Shabbat. And it's symbolic, and for us it's also just very important because it's delicious. So, I showed you in one of my previous demos how to make our Shabbat fish. But as important as Shabbat fish is, a beautiful Shabbat fishbowl dish, especially during the week of Tisha B'Av, is very beautiful and very delicious, and I'm going to show you how to prepare that. And then when it starts to cook, we are going to prepare our dessert, and I'm going to show you how to plate it and how to bake it and how to serve it. And I'm going to turn my oven on at 350 just so that it's ready to receive the dessert when I'm done with the fish prep. So, let's go now to the fish prep. Okay, and I have a very big pot, and I've put already in that pot about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I've diced 2 small white onion and 1 medium-sized vine tomato. And I've taken the pulp out of the tomato just so that there's not too much liquid. I'm also going to use 2 small shallots that I'm going to chop up in small pieces. And I'm going to use 1 green pepper. And the green pepper I'm going to julienne, and I'll show you how I do that. And we're going to use fresh coriander and parsley, but I'm also going to use the ends of the coriander. So a lot of people tend to discard this. This is gold to me. I love it. I never discard the ends of the coriander unless it's a bunch that has a lot of dirt in it, but I keep it because it's where all the flavor is, and I put it on the bottom of my pan when I cook my fish or my fishbowl, and it acts as a barrier. So as the sauce cooks down and becomes thicker, the fish or the fish balls tend not to stick on the bottom because they're protected by that layer of flavorful coriander stems. So I'm going to start by taking off the little root part.
I think you need some help.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Hi, Babette, from my sister from, I just saw her there from Florida. We love you. Miss you.
Okay, so I'm going to put on the bottom of my pan, I'm going to put my coriander stems.
Yeah.
Take 1 or 2. Oops, they're good. Okay. Now, Can I put you to work 2 minutes?
Well, this is what I'm here for.
Okay. So I'm going to turn the stovetop on. And as soon as the oil gets hot, I'm going to put my 2 small diced onion and my tomato. And then I'm going to wash this, and I'm going to ask you to start cutting the fruits.
Oh, this is the fun part. You know, cutting to me the rhubarb?
Yes. I'm going to show you how to do it.
I know how to do it. You have to cut, then you
No,
cut.
but I'm going to show you.
Like in slanted.
No, we don't have to.
You cut it slanted last time.
No.
Weren't you like in the...
No, they're going to bake and
It doesn't matter anyways the way you cut it.
decompose.
Right.
Okay.
So here we go.
So I'm just waiting for the pot and the oil to get hot. In the meantime, I'm going to julienne
Oh yeah.
my pepper.
Hi, Julian Pepper.
Hi, Cantor B.
Julian. Hi, Julian. Julian.
Is that a song?
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
Is it?
Julia. Julia. Yeah, Julia. Yeah, there's a song actually like that.
So I'm going to julienne my pepper
Yeah.
in honor of Julia.
Hi, Julia.
All the Julias out there.
Yes. Hi, Aventura, Julia. Aventura, Julia. Get it? My niece.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my pot is starting to get
Look at all these
hot.
beautiful people. I mean, I have to read the names from the phone here.
So go get
Should
your
I get the phone
yeah,
here?
Yeah.
The only phone
Because
is-
sometimes there's comments and we don't see them here on the computer.
Oh, I got comments already.
Sometimes we have questions, comments. Don't hesitate to send us even requests. Okay, so my pot is getting warm. I'm going to add my onions,
There's another cousin, Corinne.
diced onions.
Corinne Suissa. Hi,
Hi.
sweetheart. Hey, cuz. How you doing, girl? And Menachem Amar says, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You
How
better
are
come
you?
to the choir rehearsal tomorrow.
It's actually tonight at 5:30.
I mean, tonight at 5:30. Yes. And boy, did Bruno Schlumberger, he's a great guy. This guy put it like... You're terrible. What a great photographer you are, I can tell you that. Okay.
Okay, so my onions are
Hello, my
sauteing,
brother.
and I'm chopping up my 2 small shallots,
Yes.
which I will add to
Can
the
I do
onion.
this with this?
And
No, I'm just letting me...
Um,
Just when it'll feel like I'm doing something.
I'm going to give you the fruits.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just wanna...
Here, I'm going to give you the fruits now.
Can I cut them here so that I can be with you when I put
Absolutely.
this over there?
But then, no, right here. Like, remove that box here of no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
Yeah.
Ain't no
Mets la boîte
river
là-bas.
low enough.
Yeah. J'ai pas besoin de cet espace ici.
Voilà.
Voilà.
And I'm gonna...
Ici, my tomatillos.
Did you check these tomatillos? This is amazing, eh? What is this again?
And look, my Sicilian eggplants.
Wow.
Aren't they beautiful? I'm actually going to slice them. I'm going to put a bit of salt on them. I'm going to let them have the water come out of them. I'm going to pat them dry. And then I'm going to prepare a breading section. I'm going to put a dish with some flour, another one with some beaten eggs that are seasoned, and then another one with breadcrumbs. And I'm going to go eggplant slice in the flour, then in the egg, and then I'm going to fry them. And then I'm going to serve it with the charmela, a little hot sauce.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's really delicious. They're in season, so I picked them up. I also picked up
This is really cool.
some tomatillos, which I'm also going to slice and bread and bread them and fry them. And that I'm going to serve with pepper dip. So just ideas that you can try to do for the week of Tisha B'Av. And all in season at the market that I love, which I go twice a week, because once the winter comes, it's no longer so.
It's costing me a lot of money, I tell you.
No,
No?
no,
No?
no.
Sounded good. Like
So, I'm going to give you this. Yep. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to move this from your way. I'm going to move a little bit here. Move a little bit here. And I'm going to set you up.
set me up.
Yep, I'm going to set you up. So
Too
here
bad that they can't
I
see me
picked
cut
up
because they
from
can't
the
see me
market
cut.
a beautiful rhubarb. Hello.
And it also can be used as a lula.
No.
No?
No. So,
That was a good one.
I washed
That was a good
my
one.
pepper, and I'm going to show you what I would like to do.
Yeah, but you can't see. They can't see me
No,
do
but
that.
I'm going to show everybody in the camera, and then you're going to be able to do it.
No, but why don't you move this over here? No?
Okay, so, Cantor B.
Yes.
Remove the tough bottom that's not
Remove.
good looking, and remove the leaves because I
They're
don't know if everybody knows, but
very
we
bitter.
can't eat the leaves.
No.
Rhubarb leaves, they're not comestible.
Oh, no?
No. The only thing you can do with them is if you want to make a syrup, you can put the leaves that are washed inside the syrup, and it's going to give it a tart taste and flavor it a little bit, but
And what are they good
sometimes when
for?
we make a syrup, we want it sweet. We don't want it tart. So
Yeah,
we
sweet.
don't use the leaves of
So
the
in
rhubarb.
other words, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
I'm going to give you a bag for the garbage. There we go. So not too much at the end, just the part
Yeah, you know
that's
what?
not
You gotta
good.
tell me things once, and that's it.
Alors, juste comme ça.
Yeah.
Mais et juste où est-ce que ça commence? Parce que le reste c'est gold.
Yeah?
The rest is gold.
We can sell
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we can sell it. So make sure you watch your pot. You don't want your onions, shallots, and coriander stems to burn. You just want them to become translucent. And mine are actually translucent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my diced tomato and my julienne green pepper. Now you can use
That's a beautiful word.
You can
Translucent.
you can use red pepper, which a lot of people do, but I like green pepper in this one just because there's already a lot of red in the sauce, and the fish is actually going to take the red color as well, and so this is a great contrast because we love contrast in a dish. It's actually because we eat with our eyes first before we eat with our mouth.
Close your eyes. And
No, open your eyes when I serve you food because it's beautiful.
Yeah, you know what? It's a beautiful food. Ah, we said that already, eh?
Yeah,
The beautiful couscous is named twice
because it's great.
because no,
Couscous is not enough because it's just couscous, but couscous, it's really
no,
great.
because couscous and a food so fine they named it twice.
Okay, but now
Nice.
we're fish
Food's so
balls,
nice.
not couscous. Couscous was last week.
Yeah, we had a great couscous by the way,
Oh, so yummy.
It was
no,
very
couscous
yummy.
was not last week. It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. You don't even
Last
know.
week was the stuffed
You're
zucchini.
so busy, like doing things that you forget about what day it is.
No, I don't forget. But now it's actually cooking down beautifully. Look at that. Wow. And the smell in the kitchen, without even adding any seasoning, is already beautiful. Now, I'm going to add 2 fresh bay leaf, but you can actually use dried bay leaf if you don't have fresh. But I was at the market and I picked some up.
Don't be fresh.
And I am going to be preparing some saffron water. So I boiled some water before the demo started. I'm going to fill the pot.
Oh my
Fill
goodness!
my
Look at
little
all these beautiful
container.
people joining us, and this
So
is great.
this is about a cup.
Oh, sweet buttercup. While she's getting something, I have so many beautiful people coming in. Rhonda Lehrer, Sheila Nadrich, Eric Zander, Daniel Zrien, Janet Kimmel, Francine
Okay,
Ladat,
so I
Daniel
have-
Vosburg, Michael Malik. What?
I
can-
have
I can-
saffron.
Well,
I'm going to take a pinch.
I had more, but...
And I'm put it in a cup of boiling water. I'm also going to take a tablespoon of tomato paste that I'm going to put in that boiling water to dilute
Oh,
it
beautiful people.
before adding it to my sauce.
Yes. Love to
And-
see all these beautiful people.
And I'm going to add, once I add this, I'm going to add half a cup of crushed tomato. You can go up until 1 cup of crushed tomato, just as much
Don't
as you
you
want.
ever go for more than that.
Okay, and
Is that what
then,
I'm saying?
so I'm going to put half a cup of crushed tomato.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So in my pot right now, I have the coriander stems. I have 2 small diced white onions, 2 small shallots diced, 1 vine tomato diced, and a green pepper julienne. Then I have about 1.5 cups of a mixture of boiling water, saffron threads, a tablespoon of tomato paste, and the rest to top up to 1.5 cups is crushed tomatoes. And all that is the base of my sauce. I'm not going to add seasoning for now, but I'm going to show you how my sauce is looking.
It looks great.
Yeah, and it smells delicious. I'm going to cover and I'm going to let that simmer while we prepare the fish.
Yes. In the meantime,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the rhubarb sticks are now cut and prepared for washing.
Yeah, so
And after the washing, we're going to cut them. Right?
I'm just going to.
Hi, Beth Shapiro. Oh, my hair, Sheldon Friedman, how are you? Viola! Viola is in. Viola, are you working? Funny, no?
Funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to wash, but
Neil Blancher, Myra, my man. Lauren, Nadine, Albert, Dades, Amiram Gelbart, how you doing, pal? Menachem, Lily Nussbaum. Oh, be careful, she's been walking.
she's a baker.
She's a baker. Amanda Cape, how you doing? Victor Buenavida, how are you, my brother? Jack Evan Chaim, Nadine Azulay, Frank Newman. Oh my goodness, so many people. Jason Siegel. Oved, how are you, pal? Benny Meisner, what a pleasure. Okay.
So I just want to,
All right.
a little bit of an announcement. Oh, my battery, you need my plug. It's in my bag on the floor in my room. Okay. You might want to plug right away.
Yeah, what's your announcement?
Chen. 1 second, I don't want to lose the live.
You know. Go ahead.
Okay, so my announcement is that next week, Thursday, because I normally meet with you guys every Thursday at 4.
Yeah,
But next week, Thursday, is the fast of Tisha B'Av.
that's right.
So instead of Thursday, we are going to meet on Friday at 1 o'clock because a lot of you have asked me to do the fina preparation live.
This is the best.
And I can't do it on a Thursday. So this is perfect because Thursday we can't meet next week. We're all going to be fasting and too tired and not want to cook while we're not able to eat.
Mhm.
So we're going to meet on Friday at 1 o'clock and we are going to prepare together the fina. What
That's
I'm
gonna
going
be
to
the
do,
best.
what I'm going to do is I'll post it on Facebook, but I'm going to post you the ingredients. So if you want to prepare the dafina with me next Friday at 1 o'clock, we'll prepare it together in our kitchens.
Okay, so I need to cut them like this.
Yeah, not bigger.
Okay, and can I have somewhere to
Yeah,
put them?
I'm going to give you a bowl, which is already there.
So I'm going to cut them in pieces like this
Yeah,
big.
he's going to cut them in pieces of about until your first little
Finger, index finger, top finger,
much you eat
bottom of the
some? My
finger,
God,
bottom
I
of the
was
tank. The sacro, the index of philology
No.
of the first finger on your right hand.
Mm.
That's how big it should be. One.
So, I bought
Again, you bought?
fresh
How much did you buy?
minced
Oh, I love that.
merlon,
Oh, this is great.
whiting
Whiting.
at the fish market because I didn't want to mince it myself. But you can buy fish and mince it yourself if you really want. But I bought it already ready. I put it in a strainer so that any excess liquid will come out of it. I'm now putting it in a container. It's about a pound and a half. You go a pound and a half to 2 pounds with this recipe, and you'll have enough. Now, in the stuffing, I'm going to puree a small white onion. So I prepared a small chopper. I'm going to do it with you guys. I'm also going to use a small or half a potato or a small potato. Mine is medium size, so I'm only going to use half of it. And a bunch of parsley and cilantro that we're going to put in the food processor, and we're going to make a puree with it. That's going to go in the minced fish and with some seasoning, and that's going to be our fish ball mixture. So,
First of all, you have to say a fish ball.
a fish ball.
Yeah, not fish ball. Fish ball. Fish ball. Ain't no. You know, some people might think, the cantor is just cutting, like rhubarb.
But he's the one that gave me all my recipes.
I was just gonna say.
He's my chef, right? We made it clear last week. There's only one chef, one person that does the laundry and the cleaning.
Yeah.
Just one person that's just important and takes care of everything. The other one just assists. And that's
Hey,
it.
all right. So you're the important
That's
one.
me.
I understand.
I just assist.
You're the one. No. I was gonna give you the kavod. You're the one.
So now I'm just making sure that my cilantro, I'm just re-rinsing my cilantro that I cleaned previously. Just sometimes
Is rhubarb a healthy food?
some leaves.
Rhubarb is a
It's
healthy
a
food.
fruit. It's really yummy. It's tart. So when you add it to dessert and you offset it with some sweet berries, it's like a tart, sweet kind of dessert, and it's beautiful because I love the mixture of tartness and sweet. So I'm actually going to use half of my onion, half of my potato, and a bunch of cilantro and parsley. And I'm cutting them to put in my mini chopper. I don't know if you guys can see my mini chopper. You can use a full-size food processor if you don't have.
Is that like a helicopter mini chopper?
Yeah, mini chopper, that's right. Helicopter. Mini chopper. And I'm going to use a big handful
Mini chopper.
cilantro. I'm just trying to remove some of those leaves that are not
So far, it's looking like this. You are so beautiful.
Okay, and I'm going to do the same with my parsley. I'm going to,
Show me your parsley.
it's in my strainer, and I'm just making sure that I remove the
Don't strain
leaves
yourself.
that are not so nice.
Don't strain
Now my
yourself.
sauce
Wow,
is
yes.
looking
Gorgeous.
beautiful. It's simmering
Oh, it smells
slowly.
good, eh?
Yeah, simmering
Did you put
slowly.
any...
No seasoning yet.
No, but did you put any basil?
No, bay
Did-
leaf.
Can you put some basil?
No.
No, it's
Not
in that
not
one,
in
eh?
the fish, no.
I
But
just
I'll
love-
use basil this week.
I just love basil.
Okay, so
The smell.
I chopped it a little bit, and it's going to go in my mini chopper.
Fly away.
Okay. The rest I'm going to use in the sauce, so no waste. Okay, so I'm going to make a little bit of noise because I'm going to chop this onion, potato, and cilantro.
No noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a few seconds to chop that thing away.
While she's making noise, I'll sing. So as I was saying,
What were you saying while the machine was going?
I was
Cantor
saying
B?
how privileged I am to share the kitchen with you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Seriously, eh?
Yeah. Not sure why you don't share it the rest of the week. Privilege. You have to use that up more often.
And that's why I'm thinking this is the reasoning behind it.
What did you say, Cantor B? Why don't you join me the rest of the week? Don't want to use up your privilege?
I just said it. You just put the thing, the sound there, it was too high.
Okay, so this mixture is now going in my bowl with my minced fish. I'm going to take a drop of water to take the rest out of my container. Now I'm going to get an egg.
From the chicken.
No, from the fish.
I had to say it. When do you have the privilege of saying, I'm getting an egg from the chicken?
Yes.
What?
I never had that privilege, but...
No. We share.
Okay, so I'm going to take a clear bowl just to check my egg. Make sure that it's kosher and doesn't have any blood spots or blemish. And this one is perfect. So
Can we explain to the
I'm going to put it
to our fine people what that means? Why we check and this blood?
Go ahead.
Well, no. The only reason is because it's a sign of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the beginning of life for a little chicken there. So
okay, so I just want to make sure that my sauce is doing well. It's beautiful.
Seriously?
So, yeah, beautiful. So now I'm going to get some seasoning, and we're actually going to season the sauce and the fish at the same time.
We are the season of love.
Okay, so for my fish, I'm going to take just a little bit of salt.
Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And a pinch of salt in my sauce as well. Okay. I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of oil in my fish mixture.
I'm hungry. Looks good.
Looks really good.
Mm.
Okay. Then I'm going to get some garlic powder, some paprika, and chicken powder with no MSG, and I'm coming back. Cantor B, entertain them.
Can't do this to me. I'm coming back. I don't know what to say. I'm
Shy.
I'm shy. Well, my dear friends, you know what's coming up very shortly. I mean, before we know it, the high holy days are coming. I just cannot believe it. How fast time flies, eh?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Especially
during the Corona season.
Well, you know what? Just be careful, guys. That's all.
Okay.
Everybody will be okay.
So, I'm also going to put in my sauce 1 dried red pepper that I'm just going to put inside. Now, I'm going to take a tablespoon and a teaspoon. So in my sauce, I'm going to put a generous tablespoon of
You're always generous.
chicken powder. And I'm going to put as well a tablespoon of paprika. So sweet paprika I don't use smoked paprika, not for those Moroccan dishes. It alters the taste.
We don't smoke around here.
We could smoke, but just not smoked paprika. I'm going to use a tablespoon of garlic powder.
Do you know what you just said?
And then just a little bit on top of my fish. And I'm actually going to put dried paper flakes, but they're not spicy, they're just sweet. And a little bit of pepper to taste. I use white pepper that I'm going to put on top of my fish as well. I'm going to mix my sauce, which absolutely looks delicious. And I'm just going to taste it for flavor.
Hey, how about me? No?
Wow. Look, Cantor B.
Yeah, man.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Now, if you feel that it's missing a little bit of water before you add your fish ball, go right ahead and add a little bit more of the boiling water, which I'm going to do right now. Where's my container? It's right here. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more boiling water.
While you're doing that, I just want to say...
I'm going to get a half a cup, so that's going to be a total of 2 cups that I've put inside. And just enough for the fish balls
Here.
to have enough liquid.
Rhubarb, done. Look at
Wow.
this.
Now I'm going to give you
By the way,
strawberries.
strawberries. We're not going to do the strawberries. We're going to wash them first, and then we're going to bring them and cut
No,
them.
we're going to cut the tops, cut them in half, and then we're going to wash
Okay.
them.
And also, I just wanted to let you know, just a very quick, in parenthèse, in bracket, Muriel and I have been volunteering some time at Mada. Here we're right down the street.
There are
And
neighbors.
also the family store on the other side over here. 2 great agencies.
And
Worth,
you know they need volunteers.
they need volunteers. So if you have a chance to volunteer sometime at Mada or at the family store, and
Reach out
also
to those 2 organizations or to Federation.
that's it.
And
Federation.
give your time. You're going to love it.
Federation is doing such a great job trying to put everybody to work and helping others in the community. So please give us some of your time. It would be wonderful. Okay, so now I've got the strawberries.
Yeah, so I'm going to, so for the
Strawberry fields forever.
So this one is a bit dented, so you want to take.
Yes, I know. Bonjour,
This,
it's that.
and then
Yeah,
I want
then
them
you
the same size
Après, tu vas les laver.
as the rhubarb. So-
Also, we cut them so that we can wash everything inside there.
But
Strawberry.
quand elles sont petites comme ça,
Yeah.
c'est juste en deux.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And where am I going to put them?
You're going to put them right here.
Right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so now I'm ready to actually shape the fish.
Not the fish.
It has everything inside: the oil, the egg, the coriander, potato, and onion mixture, the puree, the seasonings, a tiny bit of water, and I'm going to actually mix it. And when I mix it, if I feel that it's too soft and doesn't really come together well, I'm going to add a little bit of breadcrumbs. But first, I'm going to mix it. And it has oil as well, which is going to help with the egg to bind the fish together. So make sure you mix it well so that everything is incorporated, the egg, the oil, the seasoning, the fish, and there's just not one piece that has too much of one flavor and not the other one. So really make sure that you mix it well. And I can see already that my fish is a little bit too soft. So I'm going to ask Daniel to get me my breadcrumbs. I'm going to tell you where it is. Le placard que tu vois qui est ouvert, mais ferme le bottom et ouvre le premier qui est en haut. Et il y a à gauche, en arrière, un contenant de breadcrumbs. There you go.
Jesus, blind crumb.
It's a plain breadcrumb, no flavoring, because I don't want to change or alter the taste of the fish and the sauce, which is gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to use about 3/4 of a cup. Okay.
This whole thing smells fishy.
No, it doesn't. It's beautiful.
No, I'm just wanted to say it.
Okay, so I'm just
Living is easy with eyes closed.
putting everything together, binding everything together while my sauce
While
Yes.
my sauce
is
swiftly
cooking down. Okay? And I can see now that my fish has a better consistency. So it'll depend as well what kind of fish you use. If it's softer or more watery, then add a little bit more of the breadcrumb. You just have to feel it just like any dough or just like any filling. But mine looks really good. So right now, I'm going to rinse my hands. I'm going to put oil on them, and I'm going to shape the meatballs.
So nice.
Okay?
Love cooking with you, really.
Fun.
It is.
Fun times. Okay, so now I'm going to just make myself a little bit of room.
We love you, Mathieu Benlolo. Look at that. We love you too. Why don't you come and eat with us? Come on. Come on, baby.
I'm going to take a plate and I'm going to start shaping. So I take oil
Great shape.
on my hands
We're doing great.
so that my fish doesn't stick. And I make, I would say, golf ball shaped or size
Professional or
fish
intermediate?
balls, okay? So golf ball shaped. And I'm going to place them on my plate, and I'm going to shape all of them before I open my pot. Make sure that I have enough water or sauce, and then I'm going to place them gently, and I'm going to continue simmering the sauce and the fish together until the fish is completely cooked and the sauce is has reduced. Okay, while Daniel cuts all the strawberries, we're going to, after that, when the fish is in the pot cooking, I'm going to clean up a little bit, and we're going to pass to dessert. Dessert is going to be, like I said, the rhubarb and berry crumble.
Oh.
It's delicious.
It doesn't last long in this house. I'll tell you, you put
It's
it up
actually,
there.
yeah,
What?
it's actually going to, I'm going to show you, I bought very beautiful little dishes, and we're going to bake them in those dishes that can go directly on the table when you serve it. And actually this week, my berry and rhubarb crumble is going to be part of the gift that we are going to deliver at our donors this week.
With the plates?
Yeah,
With this hard plates?
yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, as Cantor Benlolo and the Rabbi mentioned in their weekly emails, the synagogue, with the help of the clergy, is in a big fundraising campaign, and Gali and I participate every week to bake challah and baked goods and desserts that the Cantor and the Rabbi deliver to our donors that have generously participated in the fundraiser. So this week, my crumble is going to be part of the gift,
Wow.
and I hope that they're going to enjoy it. So
Wow.
please, if you feel generous, give some money to the synagogue, and you'll get one of my gifts.
That was great. That's a great way. Had we known in the beginning, we would have done
Not
that.
bribery, but, you know, a little bit of dessert and challah wouldn't hurt anybody.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, and a donation, well, we
Je
both
fais rien
benefit,
de
the
Dieu.
synagogue and you guys. You get a donation receipt and a gift. And a visit from the Cantor and the Rabbi. I mean, really,
I mean, really.
who doesn't want all of that?
I don't know who.
How's it going?
I don't know, but I'm being very tired.
No, how could you be tired?
Just kidding.
You're used to it. You cook and clean every day.
You know what? You're right.
So my fish is really looking really nice. My fish balls are shaping up really, really well. My plate is full. I'm going to rinse my hands, and I'm going to check my sauce and already put one layer of the fish balls So they start cooking so that I can clear my plate and continue with the cooking. So, Cantor B, do you mind drying your hands and bringing the camera closer to the sauce, please? We're
Well,
going to
if
show
I
them the
have
next
to.
step. Yeah. You're the tech guy. You're everything, so we depend on
You
you.
are my everything.
So if you can go from the back, yeah, and bring it forward, that's going to be great. It's a beautiful color. It already has a beautiful smell, and the fish is not even in there yet. So, wow, look at that.
Voila, voila.
It's beautiful.
And
Thank
you're
you
gonna
so
put
much.
this
So
stuff right there.
now I'm going to gently drop the fish balls in the sauce. You left too quickly, Cantor B. You were supposed to show me the sauce with the fish.
Well, you told me
Maybe you can go back?
You told me that's it.
No. I don't think so, and if I did, I made a mistake, I apologize.
You never make mistakes.
I often make mistakes.
Here.
So here. There we go.
Can you see it?
Yep. There we go.
You see how beautiful it is? Wait till you taste it.
Okay. There we go. So now
And it continues on this way.
I'm going to shape a few more. I'm going to take again a bit of oil in my hands. And I'm going to continue shaping the fish balls.
Can you believe it's almost time to leave? Well,
Gali veut que tu le ramasses.
oh, that's what he wants, eh?
Yeah. Et quand tu le ramasses, tu reviens pour le courage.
Sure.
Yeah. So
That means,
maybe, in the spirit of the 9 days, before you leave us, Cantor B, and we will miss you terribly.
Where am I going?
Before you leave us,
You mean
is it possible for you to sing a song, a Jerusalem song, or something that's
Yeah.
appropriate
I
for
must-
the 9 days of
Sure.
Tisha B'Av?
I must go and do some work, so I will, even though this is not work, this is a passion. There's a song that it's absolutely very apropos about the 9 days, which is
Started yesterday with
Yeah.
Rosh Chodesh.
look at these strawberries. We're gonna wash all this, yeah.
Yeah.
The song is remembering, first of all, the whole concept of the Tisha B'Av, the 9 days, is to remember the destruction of the temple, first and second temple. And the song is, there's a nice Imish Kacher, if I forget thee, O Jerusalem. It's a beautiful one. There's a couple of the
Not
traditional
the one that
one.
you sang last week?
Yeah, so should we do
A different one? Maybe for the viewers?
there's another version,
They don't really want to hear the same thing every week.
even if it's not a
It's
version.
like they don't want me to be preparing the same dish every week.
Well, she just put me on my spot here. Right. This is not, you put me on the spot here.
Any Jerusalem song?
Oh. אוויר הרים צלול, קיים, וריח אורנים, נישא ברוח ארבעים עם כל פעמונים, ובתרדמת אילן ואבן, שבויה בחלומה, העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום על לכל שירייך אני כינור ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום על לכל שירייך אני כינור כינור
My hands are dirty, or else I would have applauded you, Cantor B. That was beautiful.
Oh yeah, God's verklempt when I sang these songs. I love you all, everybody. So you know what to do when you finish the class?
Yes.
What do you have to do? You know how to shut it off and say, yeah, active,
Non, mais tu vas être de retour.
I think you're on?
Ben oui.
No.
Mais oui, je dois faire tout le berry ici.
Wow, she's making the berries. Oh my God.
Okay. Allez, va comme ça, tu peux revenir. So, we're actually going to see Daniel when he comes back, because he has to finish all this recording stuff, and actually, he's the chef. He's going to be cleaning and doing the dishes and stuff.
Sometimes you don't want to be the chef.
Not. So, now that the first layer started to cook already, I can add more of my fish, because now I can make some room for new
I
ones.
gotta take my phone.
Yeah. Tu reviens tout de suite? Perfect. Ok. Et tes clés, comme ça, tu peux remonter. Okay, so now I'm adding, like I said, more fish balls in my sauce. And it really, I have it like on a medium. Yeah, I don't want the sauce to burn on the bottom. I don't need the fish to cook too fast. I would rather it simmer, takes the flavor of everything that's in the sauce. And you put the fish balls carefully in there, and you don't move them too much until they're really set, so that they don't break. Okay, so now I'm just adding them carefully, trying to make room so that they're all covered in the sauce. Now, as they cook, they're going to shrink a little bit. So even if some of them are not completely in the sauce, you will see that as they cook and shrink a little, you're going to be able to move them, and they're going to get into the sauce easily. Don't try to do that now, because they're too fragile before they get set and cooked down. So cover the pot, let them get set, and then we will shake the pot a little bit to make sure that all the fish balls are in the sauce. So now I'm just going to put some stuff away, or put them back on my counter, in the back of my counter, because I want to make room to show you how to make my beautiful dessert. So give me a moment to clean up a little bit. Wow, it smells really yummy in the house. Okay. So now, Daniel did a beautiful job chopping the rhubarb and the strawberries. We're going to wash them. But first, I'm also going to take raspberries and blueberries. I made a bit of a mess. I'm just going to pick it up. Okay, so I have my strawberries and rhubarb that I'm going to soak in water a little bit. Rhubarb we washed already, but I prefer soaking it a little bit before we start with the prepping of the dessert. And my oven is pre-baked at 350. To the strawberries, I'm going to add, this is 6 ounces of raspberries, and this is, doesn't it say the size? It's the double. No, it's actually it's a pint a pint of blueberries. So, I'm just going to add a little bit more water to this bowl. And I'm just going to get the recipe. Okay? And I'm going to tell you what we are going to need for this recipe. I'm just going to push my element carefully. Okay? I'm still keeping the heat on the fish, a medium heat, because I don't want it to cook too fast. It's actually looking beautiful. Make sure that I'm going to move some of the fish balls in a few minutes that are not covered with the sauce, just so that they all get the flavor and the color. For now, we have our fruits soaking in water. So rhubarb, cut up strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. Blueberries and raspberries you can leave whole. Okay? And we are going to need, for this recipe, we are going to need half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I tend to put 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and that's going to go in the fruit. So I'm going to get those ingredients, and I'll be right back. Okay. So I'm going to take the water out of my fruit. Water out of my rhubarb. I'm going to do the same with my strawberries and raspberries. Okay. And I'm going to put everything together. There we go. So right now, look how beautiful this is. It's the rhubarb, the strawberry, the raspberry, and the blueberry. Now, I've doubled the recipe because I have to prepare the gifts. And I'm going to show you where I'm going to plate them. So I bought those beautiful heart-shaped containers that actually go to the oven and straight to the table. And then we're going to put that in the package after they're baked. Okay, so I'm going to prepare my dishes. Now I recommend using a big 9.5 by 13-inch Pyrex for this recipe, or a dish that goes in the oven and that you can bring to the table directly to serve to your family. So because I doubled this, I'm going to double the recipe, but for a regular recipe, it's you're going to have together 6 cups of fruit. So regardless which fruit you choose, if you don't care for the rhubarb or you can't find it, just use a mixture of berries. You can also do it with apples and pears, or a mixture of peaches. It doesn't really matter. But you need 6 cups of fruits and half a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. But now I'm going to double the recipe because I have a lot of fruits. Okay. So calls for 1 teaspoon, but I'm going to put, actually this one is not open. I'm going to use one that's already opened. So 1 teaspoon, but I'm actually going to put 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. The flavor is delicious. Okay, and then, so you take the sugar, the cornstarch, the cinnamon, you add it to the bowl of fruits, and then you mix everything, because that's going to be actually your base. On the top, we're going to prepare a crumble, but the base of this crumble is this fruit mixture that's combined with the sugar, the cornstarch, and the cinnamon. You want to make sure that all the fruits get a little bit of that sugar, cornstarch, and cinnamon mixture magic. Already the cornstarch acts as thickening agent. It's actually going to thicken our sauce that's inside with the fruits. Okay. There we go. So my fruits are well combined. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a generous amount of fruit inside each of my dishes. Okay, so make sure that you have a little bit of all of the different types of fruits in each of the dishes. So there we go. Again. Okay, so I'm just filling all of my dishes with a generous amount of fruit mixture, while I'm keeping an eye on my fish balls that are cooking and that are smelling delicious. So as you can see, I have a generous amount of fruits inside each of my dish. And I'll be right back. I'm going to fill one more. Okay, as you can see, each of them are filled with the mixture. I'm just going to check up on my fish balls. So want to stir it a little bit and bring some of that sauce gently on top of the fish that's not in the sauce or that's not exposed. Most of them are now in the sauce because some of them have shrunk and it's perfect. Beautiful. Okay. So as you can see, they're cooking beautifully. The smell is delicious. Make sure that the heat is not too strong. You just want them to simmer gently. And we're going to let them go. So now comes the fun part. We're going to be preparing the crumble topping for our rhubarb and berry crumble. So for the crumble, you're going to need, I use margarine because I want this dessert to be hard. You're going to need half a cup, so that's like 1 stick. But I'm going to use 2 sticks because I need to double the recipe and have too much crumble or too many dishes to prepare. So give me a minute. I'm going to get my margarine and I'm going to soften it. I'm right here. I didn't go too far. There we go. So right now, you can melt it in the microwave or you can melt it in the oven. My oven is on at 350, so I'm going to put this in the oven and I'm going to let it melt while I get the rest of the ingredients ready. Okay, so let me just clean up here and I'm going to get the rest of the stuff that goes in the crumble, so in the topping. So again, I said half a cup of margarine. And we're going to need half a cup of brown sugar. I use light brown sugar. And 1 cup of oats. Already instant oat is what I use. And half a cup of regular flour. But you can use gluten-free flour. You can use whole wheat flour, whichever one you have or whichever one you prefer. And a pinch of salt. So let me get the oats, the brown sugar, the salt, the flour, and while the butter or the margarine, I mean, is softening, and I'll be right back. So don't go too far, because I'm getting the ingredients that I need for the crumble. So instant oat. Light brown sugar. I'm going to use salt, so a pinch of salt. I need regular flour. I'm going to get my measuring cup as well. And we're going to mix all of this together in a bowl. Okay. So in a bowl, you are going to put a cup of instant oat. I'm going to put 2 cups because I'm doubling the recipe. So this is 1 cup. I'm going to add a 2nd cup. Okay. A pinch of salt. Then it calls for half a cup. Yeah, half a cup of brown sugar, but I'm going to use a cup. Okay, so the brown sugar, the oats, a pinch of salt, and now we're going to use the flour. So 1 cup of flour. I actually don't need to double the flour, not really. I may be using a tiny bit more, but I don't think I'm going to double. I'm just going to use about a cup and a third, but in your case only going to use half a cup. So I doubled it to a cup. And I'm going to take my wooden spoon to mix. So half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of flour, 1 full cup of instant oat, a pinch of salt, and we're going to add a half a cup of melted margarine to that. We're going to mix it well until all the ingredients are incorporated, and then that's the crumble that's going to go on top of the berries. And then we're going to bake all of this. So if you're using a big dish, a 9.5 by 13 dish, and you're putting all the 6 cups of fruits and the crumble on top, you're going to bake it at 350 for about 45 minutes. I'm actually, because my dish is small, my dishes are small, I'm going to watch it because maybe it's going to need a bit less. But really you go until your crumble is golden and your berries are bubbling. And your rhubarb has, gotten tender. So I'm just going to check if my margarine melted enough. I'm going to give it 1 more minute. In the meantime, I'm going to take care of my fish. I'm again going to make sure that the sauce is not sticking, that the fish is cooking properly. I'm again going to scoop a little bit of sauce to put on top of the top layer of fish. And it's really looking very, very nice. I'm going to show you again what it looks like. It really smells delicious. They look beautiful. The sauce is really nice. And if you serve it on a bed of rice or with fresh challah on Friday night, it's delicious during the week of Tisha B'Av, or even on Shabbat. So we have it both ways. Now, if you make it this way for Shabbat and still want to do a fish ball dish during the week, then you can season it with just saffron and not tomato sauce and make like a yellowish kind of sauce with some olives. That's a beautiful fish ball and olive dish. Or you can make it with celery or descardons. Forgot how to say it in English. It's like from the family of artichokes. It's going to come back to me. But it's really a great dish. And again, like I said, make sure that you serve it with something to catch all that beautiful sauce. So now I'm going to take my melted margarine and I'm going to incorporate it to all those dried ingredients. Make sure not to burn yourself. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tray. So I'm going to take a tray and I'm going to place all my beautiful dishes on the tray. Okay, so I put all my beautiful dishes on the tray. I'm going to incorporate the melted margarine with all my dry ingredients. And then I'm going to put the crumble on top of the rhubarb and the berries, and I'm going to bake it. So 350 for 45 minutes or until the crumble is golden and the berries are bubbling. Make sure you watch it. You don't want to burn it, depending on the heat of your oven. Or go check it out at about 30-minute mark. Make sure that it doesn't have to come out or how much longer it needs before you take it out. So again, we're going to put the crumble on top of the berries. We're going to bake it. It smells delicious. So with the berries, the cinnamon that's in the berry filling, and all the yummy flavors, the brown sugar and all the yummy flavors in the crumble. It's a delicious summer treat that my family loves, and all my friends always ask me for the recipe. So I just thought that was a great time to share it. So I'm going to put a bit of the crumble on top of each of the plate. Again, for you, if you're making it in one big dish, go right ahead and distribute it on the top of the whole dish to cover most, if not all, of the berries. There we go. Make sure you don't waste any of that crumble because it's delicious. And I'm going to show you how it looks before I put it in the oven. Now I'm just topping up all the individual dishes. Now, if you don't want to use margarine, go right ahead and use melted coconut oil. It'll change a little bit the flavor, but it'll be delicious. If you don't want to use regular sugar, go right ahead and use maple syrup sugar or coconut sugar, whatever alternative, even arrowroot if you don't want to use the cornstarch. The cornstarch, your choice. Really, you can make it a healthy version as well, and it'll be as delicious, if not even more delicious. Again, you can use gluten-free flour. There we go. I'm just washing my hands, and I'm going to show you the end product and show you again the fishbowl before we end this demo. There we go. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Now it looks fancy because it's those little heart-shaped dishes, but it's even going to look delicious even in a regular rectangular or square dish. Again, just put everything on the bottom, top it with all this delicious crumble, and bake it in the oven, 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes, but check it at the 30-minute mark. I'm going to put it in the middle rack of my oven that's already preheated at 350. And I'm going to set myself a timer. At the 30-minute mark. Just so that I don't forget my crumble and I don't overcook it. There. So I started my timer. Now I'm going to move my burner just to show you one more time my fish balls. I hope you guys can see it because it's absolutely delicious and beautiful. Stir it occasionally like I'm doing. Cook it for about 45 minutes until the sauce is reduced, the fish balls are set and fully cooked. And again, I put that little red Don't know if you can see it, the hot pepper. It's not really hot, but it's going to give it such a beautiful taste. Now, if you want the sauce to be a little bit more spicy, don't hesitate to add a little bit of harissa in your sauce, but we like it like that. Whoever wants it a bit more spicy can add it during the dish. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration today. It gave me great pleasure to share those dishes and recipes with all of you guys. I want to remind you during the 9 days, keep safe. Don't do too many crazy sporting stuff. Try to, keep it low. And again, even with the virus out there and maybe a little bit of a spike, make sure you continue wearing your mask and washing your hands and keeping safe. And register if you want to come on Shabbat morning at the synagogue to hear Daniel's beautiful voice and the Torah being read. But if you don't feel safe, then continue reaching out and joining us in Zoom for prayers and for programs and for some weekly services. And connect with us on other times just if you want to say hi. So I hope you try those two beautiful dishes, so the fish balls and the berry and rhubarb crumble. Send me your pictures or your comments if you try it, and I wish you a great rest of the week. Shabbat Shalom, and continue to be safe, and I can't wait to see you next week. Again, don't forget, next week we will join each other on Friday at 1 o'clock, and I'm going to post during the week a reminder, but also the ingredients you'll need if you want to follow along and make the dafina with me next Friday. So again, stay safe, Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for joining me.